and bright stars through the perilous skies. For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets rang loud, the bombs bursting in air. They proved through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sing us that star-spangled banner yet wave. For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
From Grady's Field in Xenia, Ohio, it is game number 22 as your Xenia Scouts take on the Grand Lake Mariners for the final game of this midweek 2-game set. Glad to have you with us, folks. Andrew Alix here alongside Gabe Genovesi. The Scouts will send Zach Wallace to the mound tonight. Wallace from Palomar College. His third start of the year. And Gabe, what numbers do we have on Zach Wallace?
Wallace, a 6.63 ERA. He's 0-1 in 5 appearances. You're right, this is his third start. He has come out of the bullpen a couple times. Wallace has been hit a good amount this year, a .316 batting average against. 19 innings pitched. He's given up 14 runs, all of them earned. 7 walks, 13 strikeouts for Zach Wallace. So that's a very positive number. A lot of strikeouts early for Wallace.
Yeah, Wallace, the right-hander, and let's give you the lineup that he's going to work with for the Scouts, at least on the defensive side. Catching is going to be Ryan Park, Kyle Casserly at first, Ange Bourgeois at second, Ben Beachy at short, Joey Roddy at the hot corner. In left field, it's going to be Jordan Lambert. Francisco Andina is in center, and Caden Owens is holding down right field. The designated hitter tonight will be Caleb Fernholz. That is a new one. That is certainly a new one. So the lineup for the Grand Lake Mariners, it's going to be Pat Rafe batting first and playing right, Blake Buckman batting second and playing second, batting third and playing left field. It's going to be Jeff Timko, Tucker Linder batting fourth and playing first, Nate Osmo batting fifth and playing short, RJ Williams in center batting sixth, Joe Ailes playing third and batting seventh. The designated hitter is Nick Varda batting eighth, and Tom Eastlich is catching and batting ninth. Zach Wallace looks to Ryan Park. The first pitch of this ball game is hit in the air, shallow center field. Francisco Andina coming in. He's going to watch it drop in front of him as Jordan Lambert lays out but cannot make the grab. So one pitch, one hit off of Zach Wallace here already this evening. And the leadoff man, Pat Rafe, stands at first.
And if you're Wallace, no big deal there. Just a bloop single. It happens to fall in to the right spot. That ball was not hit hard at all. Come back and hit your ground ball. Get your ground ball here.
So now it's Blake Buckman to the plate. Buckman, the second baseman from Louisiana Monroe, comes into the game. A .275 hitter, 3 home runs, 4 doubles, a triple, 9 RBIs for the Louisiana Monroe Warhawk. He bats from the right side here against Ryan Wallace. Pickoff move over to first to try to keep the lead runner Pat Rafe honest here at the top of the first inning between the Grand Lake Mariners and the Xenia Scouts.
Rafe 7 for 10 on the year in stolen bases. Does have some speed over there.
And no surprise that he'd be in that leadoff role, especially hitting .315 coming into the game. Now it's going to be a little bit more following the leadoff single. And Zach Wallace, like you said, 7 for 10 on stolen bases. I'm sure that they're aware of that. Pitching coach Corey Koobs is kind of a stat geek. I could tell you I print out the stats for him every single day. First pitch, hit in the air, foul territory, back behind the plate, 0-1 goes the count. Blake Buckman from Louisiana Monroe, tied for his team lead in home runs with Jeff Timko. Both of those fellas have 3 long balls apiece. 0-1 the count here. And another pickoff attempt over to first. Zach Wallace, very careful here. Infield at regular depth, Joey Roddy, a couple of steps in, I would say. The sacrifice bunt, a possibility with the speedy man over at first, but a 275 batting average with 3 home runs. Wouldn't say it's the most likely thing in the world. So the count stays 0-1 here. Zach Wallace still looks for the deliver the second ball of this at bat. Here it comes. And curveball inside part of the plate taken for a called strike 2. Wallace ahead in this count 0-2 here against Blake Buckman. Big lead over at first for Patrick Rafe. Wallace looks to the catcher, Ryan Park, and delivers. Swung on and missed, strike 3. A curveball on the inside, and Blake Buckman goes down swinging, the first out and the first strikeout of this game for Zach Wallace, coming all at the same time. And 1 away now for the Grand Lake Mariners.
And that's what you like to see from Zach Wallace. After the leadoff hit, he comes back, 3 pitches, 3 straight strikes. No matter one was a foul ball, hit pretty hard. He comes back, he gets the strikeout, and now 1 down. You've held Rafe close at first. Let's see if he throws over again here as Rafe leads big again.
Like Gabe said, big lead for Rafe. Now the batter, Jeff Timko. First pitch to Timko. That's hit hard down the third base line. It's going to bounce next to the bag and roll all the way to the wall. Rafe is rounding third and heading home. The throw from Ben Beachy to the plate will be off the mark. It gets past Ryan Park. The pitcher, Wallace, is there to back it up, but Jeff Timko stands at third with an RBI triple. The first runs of this game on the board for the Grand Lake Mariners. A 1-0 lead for the M's.
Ball hard hit on the ground down the third baseline. I don't think Roddy could have done anything about that one. Just right next to the bag, and not the start you were looking for if you're the scouts.
And I know we always talk about, the pitcher's going to exhale there when it's a close foul ball. Well, that's what you're exhaling because that's what you're trying to avoid. So close to the line. His first pitch to Tucker Linder is swung on and missed. No balls and 1 strike here. That was just literally maybe 6 inches to a foot to the right of the left field line. 1-0 the score here with 1 away and a runner at third. The 0-1 pitch. That one missing low and away. He evens the count up, 1 ball and 1 strike. Linder from Marshall University, a .302 hitter on the year. 5 doubles, a triple, 2 home runs, 11 RBIs. He bats from the right side against the righty Zach Wallace. As time is called there, Zach Wallace absolutely taking his time here.
And we've seen that from Wallace a lot throughout his first 5 appearances. He will be very slow and work slowly on the mound. Will never rush his stuff.
So Wallace delivers low below the knees that time on the inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. The count now to the cleanup hitter, Tucker Linder. Wallace, the 2-1 pitch. And that ball's hit on the ground towards second base. James Bourgeois fields it, throws over to first in time to get Tucker Linder. But Jeff Timko comes home to score on the ground out, making the score 2-0 in favor of the Grand Lake Mariners.
And here in the first, infield not playing in, no reason to. Obviously, you got the whole ball game. Limit the damage to 2. Get this third out, and let's get into hit.
So now the batter, Nate Osmo. We saw Nate Osmo had a big day yesterday. The shortstop from Dartmouth, a .306 hitter on the year. He takes first pitch, check swing. Did he go? They'll say he did not. 1 ball and no strikes, but 2 away here in the top of the first to Nate Osmo. 2-0 is the score in favor of the Grand Lake Mariners. Like we said, Osmo, .306, 14 RBIs. He has 2 home runs as he takes that pitch low and away. Yet again, 2 balls, no strikes. Osmo, the native of Portland, Oregon, a student at Dartmouth. So talk about a guy who's all over the map, the Pacific Northwest to the New England Northeast, Ivy League style, as he watches that pitch on the black outside part of the plate, a called strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike here with 2 away to Nate Osmo. Osmo, his team leader in RBIs. Curveball hit hard, but foul. An absolute foul ball tank job on the left field side. All will count for is strike number 2. 2-2 here with 2 away in the top of the first. Zach Wallace versus Nate Osmo. Osmo pass from the right side against the righty Wallace. Wallace looks to Ryan Park. He sets and delivers the 2-2 pitch. And that one is hit high in the air and deep to left field. Going back, the left fielder, Jordan Lambert, at the track, and he'll make the grab at the wall for out number 3. And Gabe Genovesi shoots me a look and says, we got out of that one a little bit easier than we could have. At least that's what his eyes said. I can read minds. So 2 runs on 2 hits and nobody left aboard for the Grand Lake Mariners in the top of the first. 2-0. Grand Lake is your score. The Scouts will bat in the bottom of the first when we come back. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back, folks. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. To the bottom of the first inning we go here. The Scouts give up 2 in the top of the first, and now they will come to bat for the first time in this contest. It'll be Ben Beachy, Ryan Park, and Jordan Lambert at the minimum. That's the 1-2-3 hitter to give you the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It goes Caleb Bernholtz, Kyle Casserly, Caden Owens, Ange Bourgeois, Joey Roddy, and Francisco Andina. So Beachy to the plate. First pitch to him. Fastball inside part of the plate, a called strike 1. Ben Beachy, the shortstop from Otterbein College, a .329 hitter, 7 doubles, 1 triple, 1 home run, and 17 RBIs. He pops one foul first base side. The first baseman chasing all the way through the fence, but watches it go out of play. However, Ben Beachy following the foul ball behind in this count, no balls and 2 strikes. Beachy in yesterday's contest, a 2-for-4 day, a 2 RBI triple in the 6th inning yesterday, tied the ball game up at 4 runs apiece. A big piece of clutch hitting from Ben Beachy. Unfortunately, the Scouts, after a little bit of an implosion in the top of the 9th, were unable to pick up the win. Beachy hits the ball in the air, deep in the 4-hole. The second baseman, Buckman, can't handle it. He will not make the throw over to first. Ben Beachy is aboard at first base with what will probably, I assume, be ruled as an error. And our scoreboard here at Grady's Field agrees with my statement. So Ben Beachy, the first base runner of the game, marked that down as an error on the second baseman, Blake Buckman.
And doesn't matter how it happens, but the leadoff runner aboard, and let's see if the top of the lineup can get something going here for the Scouts.
So pickoff move back over to first to get Beachy, and I didn't even mention who the pitcher was, Gabe. That's Bush League of me, but the pitcher is Doc Wilkerson. And Gabe, what do we have on the very cool named Doc Wilkerson?
A 3.29 ERA for Wilkerson, 1-0 in 3 appearances. This is his 4th. Opponents bat .220 against Doc. 13.2 innings pitched. He's given up 5 earned runs, 8 walks, 13 strikeouts.
Ryan Park takes way high there, evens up the count, 1 ball and 1 strike to Park. Park, a .316 hitter on the year. 4 doubles, 7 RBIs for the catcher from Point Loma Nazarene. Upstairs and outside, throwback over to first. Ben Beachy slides back in safely. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Ryan Park. Park, an on-base percentage guy if I have ever seen one. His 17 walks make it 18, I should say.
Park, 18.
He hits one up the middle over towards second base. The second baseman, Buckman, steps on second for one, throws over to first for two in time. An F unassisted to 3 double play. And now with 2 away for the Scouts, it'll be Jordan Lambert to the plate.
And that's just unlucky. Ryan Park hit that ball right up the middle, but just didn't barrel it up enough. It took kind of a weird hop, and the ball died on the turf right to Buckman, who all he had to do was take a step over, tap on second, and throw over to get Park.
Yeah, I believe I said an F unassisted double play, which is not possible. A 4 unassisted to 3 double play. First pitch to Jordan Lambert. Fastball low and away. 1 ball and no strikes to Jordan. Lambert, a .311 hitter on the year, 3 doubles, a home run, and 12 RBIs for the left fielder from Tennessee. He rips one right into the glove of the first baseman, Tucker Linder. He catches it, mark it down as an F3 for out number 3. So no runs on no hits, 1 error, and nobody left aboard for Xenia in the home half of the first. We have played an inning of baseball here at Grady's Field. The Scouts trailed the Mariners by a score of 2-0. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. Go to the top of the second inning here. Andrew, Alix, and Gabe Genovesi at Grady's Field. The Mariners lead the Scouts by a score of 2-0, and it'll be R.J. Williams to lead things off here against the Scouts pitcher, Zach Wallace. First pitch to Williams. Hit up the middle. A base hit. R.J. Williams singles. And for the second time in as many innings, the first pitch from Zach Wallace is hit up the middle, and the Grand Lake Mariners have the leadoff man aboard.
And this is kind of what we've seen early, well, as we're halfway through the season now from Wallace. A good pitcher when it comes to pounding the strike zone. He gets the ball over the plate. He hits his spots. Unfortunately for Wallace, through his first 5, now 6 appearances, teams have just hit the ball against him, and there's really nothing he can do. He's hitting his spots, and you just hope you can get a couple weak ground balls, get a double play here.
So pickoff attempt back over to first. R.J. Williams, the man who hit the ball from Bowling Green State University. Stolen bases on the year. We do not know, but a lot of speed for the center fielder. Or do we know?
7 for 7 on stolen bases.
Yeah, so once again, a speedy leadoff man here for these Grand Lake Mariners. 1 on, nobody up for Joe Ailes. Ailes, a .313 hitter, 4 doubles, 2 home runs, 11 RBIs. The pitch. That one fastball up or outside part of the strike zone, a called strike 1. Ailes from Illinois State playing third base tonight. He bats from the right side here against the righty Zach Wallace. No balls and a strike. Pickoff attempt again. They have him caught in a pickle. Throwback over to second. Ben Beachy lays down the tag. And a great pickoff attempt there by Zach Wallace. Gets R.J. Williams as a sitting duck in between first and second. Beachy lays down the tag. All good in the hood. Out number 1. And that is certainly a break there for Zach Wallace after giving up the leadoff hit.
And a great job by Wallace. As you mentioned, a fantastic pickoff move. And R.J. Williams didn't see it coming. You get yourself an out, nobody on.
A 1 pitch grounded over towards short. Ben Beachy fields it cleanly, throws over to first. In time for out number 2. So following the pickoff attempt, a Nice ground out. Good curveball thrown there by Zach Wallace, forcing the ground out. And 2 away, nobody on here. The batter is going to be Nick Varda. I can't even read my own handwriting. Varda, a 250 hitter on the year with 1 RBI, so we assume that's a limited at-bat situation. Varda from Ashland University. He hits from the left side here against the righty Zach Wallace. First pitch from Zach. Swing and a miss. 0-1. 2-0 is the score here in the top of the second in favor of the Grand Lake Mariners. 2 away, 0-1 the count. Varda, 2 for 17 with 2 walks in his last 5 games. Last game that he appeared in was the first that he had appeared in since his June 25th game against the Galleon Graders. The 0-1 pitch. Wallace finds the zone again. He's ahead 0-2 here with 2 away.
So Varda, as you mentioned, not a very, I'm not going to say experienced, but not an everyday guy for these Grand Lake Mariners. He played this past weekend, but he hadn't played for about 6 games before that.
You got to wonder if it's injuries or something else. 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Zach Wallace, his second strikeout of the day, and he retires the minimum here in the top of the second. No runs on 1 hit, nobody left aboard for the Grand Lake Mariners. We have reached the middle of the second inning. The Scouts trail the Grand Lake Mariners by a score of 2-0. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We go into the home half of the second inning. Andrew, Alix, and Gabe Genovesi here at Grady's Field. The Scouts trailing 2-0 to the Grand Lake Mariners, going to come to the plate for the second time today. They were held hitless in the home half of the first. Caleb Fernholz to lead things off for the Scouts. Fernholz, one of the Scouts' starting pitchers, has just 1 at-bat of the year. It came in the 9th inning last night, a 2 RBI double. First pitch to Fernholz on the inside for a called strike, 0-1 the count. Pitcher on the mound still Doc Wilkerson. He throws from the side as Fernie takes low that time. 1 ball and 1 strike to Caleb Fernholz. It'll be Fernholz, Casserly, and Caden Owens due up here in the home half of the second. The 1-1 pitch. And Caleb looks that one high in the air, deep to center field. The center fielder, R.J. Williams, tracks, makes the catch at the warning track for out number 1. So Fernholz connected with that one, but just hit it a little too much in the air. 1 away.
And you said it. He got just under that ball. That is twice in 2 at-bats we've seen Fernholz drill one to deep center field. Last night it got down for a double. Tonight, just a bit short on the warning track. A good catch by the center fielder, R.J. Williams.
So now it's going to be Kyle Casserly to the plate. Kyle Casserly, a 219 hitter on the year, 6 doubles, 1 home run, 8 RBIs. First pitch, that one finds the zone, a called strike 1. Casserly, the first baseman from Wright State, just down the road. He bats from the left side against the lefty. Big curveball comes on the inside, nearly gets Casserly's elbow. Evens the count 1-1. It is 2-0 Mariners here with 1 away in the home half of the second. The pitch, and Casserly hits that one up the middle, and that one's going to drop in center field. A base hit So Kyle Casserly picks up his first hit of the ball game, and as Dave Knott is saying in the dugout, nobody no-hits the Scouts.
And a good piece from Cass there. A little blooper right up the middle. The Scouts have a runner on for the second straight inning. Let's see if Caden Owens can keep it going.
So Kyle Casserly has been pretty hot as of late. Now his third straight game with a hit. He doubled yesterday, came around to score on an Aaron Takis RBI single. But now with Casserly at first and one away, it's going to be Caden Owens to the plate. First pitch to Caden. He fouls that one out of play on the third base side. 0-1 goes the count. Caden Owens, the right fielder from Oral Roberts University in the great state of Oklahoma. A .268 hitter on the year. 3 doubles, 3 RBIs for Caden Owens. He hits from the left side here against the lefty Wilkerson. The pitch, and Caden hits that one on the ground over towards second base. The second baseman tosses to short for 1. The throw to first for 2 will be in time. A 4-6-3 double play, and that's going to do it for the Scouts in the home half of the second. So 2 double plays in as many innings stifle anything that the Scouts have going on the offensive side. No runs on 1 hit and nobody left aboard for Xenia. We've played 2 innings of baseball here at Grady's Field. The Scouts trail the Mariners by a score of 2-0. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network.
Up to bat, the catcher, number 50, Tom Essen.
So we go to the top of the third inning, and Zach Wallace out to pitch his third inning of work. The Scouts trailing the Grand Lake Mariners by a score of 2-0. It was 2 runs on 2 hits in the top of the first. That represents all the offense in this game on either side. So the 9-hitter Tom Eslich to the plate for the Grand Lake Mariners. First pitch from Zach Wallace. That one finds the zone outside part of the plate. They called strike 1. Eslich, the catcher from Malone College. He is 0 for 6 on the year. So Eslich for that first hit of the season. Here against Zach Wallace, the 0-1 pitch. Upstairs, evens the count up 1-1. Eslich. Hit .299, 23 hits in 77 at-bats. That's curveballs taken upstairs 2-1. So .299 at Malone. 5 doubles, 12 RBIs. He just joined the Mariners this past weekend. 2 balls and a strike from Wallace. The pitch. Fouled out of play, first base side. The count evens 2 balls and 2 strikes. It'll be Eslich and then back to the top of the order with Pat Rafe and Blake Buckman due up for the Mariners here in the top of the third. So Eslich steps back in. 2-2. Zach Wallace delivers. Just on the inside, a fastball. The count goes full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Eslich bats front right side here against the righty, Zach Wallace. The 3-2 pitch. Just missing on the inside yet again. Zach Wallace tries on 2-2 as well as 3-2 to paint the inside corner. Perhaps tie up Tom Eslich, but Eslich taking all the way in the home plate umpire, not giving him anything there. So a full count walk. And now back to the top of the order for the third time in as many innings, Gabe. Grand Lake Mariners had their leadoff man aboard.
And in the second inning, Wallace got out of it with a great pickoff move. Obviously, the first inning, he allowed 2. Let's see what happens here in the third.
And the first pitch, a pitch out, but the runner at first, Tom Eslich, not going. So all that counts for is a ball and no strikes. Pat Rafe, the batter. Rafe, the right fielder from USC Upstate, 1 for 1 on the day. He singled to lead this game off. Ended up coming around to score on an RBI triple from Jeff Timko. Pickoff attempt over to first. Not going to get him. Pat Rafe. Goes to USC Upstate, but actually a native of the area. A Dayton, Ohio guy. The 1-0 pitch he shows bunt but pulls back. The count goes 2-0. When you talk about baseball players for Dayton, Ohio, Gabe, there's a lot of names that you got to consider, but number one being Mike Schmidt. Mike Schmidt, of course, the Hall of Fame third baseman from the Philadelphia Phillies, went to Gabe's college, Ohio University out in Athens. 2-0 pitch. Bunt is laid down right back at the mound. Ryan Park charges, picks it up, throws over to first. The throw is low, and it gets away from Kyle Casterly. It slowly rolls into left field, rounding third, and heading home is the runner at first. The throw home will not be in time. Wow. An error on a bunt has the runner at second. And Tom Eslich scores from first on the squeeze bunt, and that was certainly a disappointment, to say the least.
That's the second day in a row that has happened. A bunt laid down right in between the catcher and the pitcher. The throw to Casterly, not in time. Rafe is safe at first. The runner goes from first to third. Yesterday, it was Casterly overthrowing the third baseman Takis and the run scoring. This time, it's the ball getting away from Casterly, bouncing into right field, and the runner scoring. That is, I've only seen that happen maybe once before in my life before this summer, and it's happened twice in 2 days now where a runner scores on a bunt from first. It hurts your pitcher.
That's certainly, it's inexcusable is the word. But nothing we can do about it now. Runner at first here, or runner at second, I should say, here in the top of the third. Nobody out. The score now 3-0 in favor of the Grand Lake Mariners. Blake Buckman to the plate. First pitch to Buckman. That one in the dirt on the outside. Good job by Ryan Park getting away and blocking that one, preventing it from going to the backstop. 1 ball and no strikes to Blake Buckman. Blake Buckman, 275 hitter on the year, 4 doubles, a triple, and 3 home runs for Buckman. 9 RBIs on the season for the second baseman from the University of Louisiana at Monroe. The 1-0 pitch coming now. Hit high in the air on the infield. Ange Bourgeois is calling for it. He comes off the infield dirt on the inside grass, makes the grab for the first out here in the top of the third. So certainly a positive out there for Zach Wallace, as the runner at second will have to stay there. But here with Jeff Timko and Tucker Linder due up here, and no double play ball on with the runner at second, he is going to have to work to get out of this inning without any further damage. Timko steps to the plate. A .381 hitter on the year, 4 doubles, 1 triple, 3 home runs, and 11 RBIs. His first time to the plate, his RBI triple opened up the scoring in this ball game back in the top of the first. So Timko, the left fielder from Eastern Michigan, he bats from the right side here against the righty Zach Wallace. Wallace looks to the catcher Ryan Park. The pitch, check swing. Did he go? They'll say he did. 0-1 goes the count now to Jeff Timko. .381. That is the top batting average in the lineup amongst the Grand Lake player. 0-1 the count here with 1 away. The runner at second is Pat Rafe. 3-0. Grand Lake is the score. Zach Wallace fakes the pickoff attempt back to second. Ange Bourgeois and Ben Beachy both there not to cover the second base back, so he'll just hold on to the ball. The count stays at 0-1 here to Jeff Timko. The 0-1 pitch. That one curveball inside part of the plate, a called strike 2. So Wallace ahead in this count, no balls and 2 strikes on Timko. He has 2 strikeouts on the day. He got Blake Buckman in the first and Nick Varda in the second. Nothing into the count here. Wallace. He looks to Ryan Park. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Drop third strike. Throw over to first. The runner's advancing to third. The throw to third will not get there in time. So a strikeout, out number 2. But Pat Rafe takes advantage of the drop third strike and gets another 90 feet out of it.
And now, if you're Wallace, this is the biggest at-bat of the game here. You do not want to allow this 4th run. Is it me, or does 4-0 look a lot bigger than 3-0 on the scoreboard? You're down 4 through 3 innings. You're kind of struggling. You don't really know. We've seen the scouts put up, I believe, 6 or 7 3 spots this season.
First pitch to Tucker Linder. Check swing. Pitch on the outside. Appeal to the field umpire says he went around. No balls and 1 strike here to Tucker Linder. Linder from Marshall University, a 3.02 hitter on the year, 5 doubles, a triple, 2 home runs, 11, make it 12 RBIs, following in the RBI in the first inning on a 4-3 ground out. So he is 0 for 1 on the day. The 0-1 pitch to Linder, and that one's grounded slowly over towards third base. Charging is Joey Roddy. He barehands it, throws to first, and Kyle Casserly cannot hold on to the ball over at first base. The run comes home 4-0 in favor of the Grand Lake Mariners now.
Good play by Roddy to barehand the ball and fire it across his body. The throw just tips off of Cass's glove, and it's 4-0 Mariners early.
Well, interesting to see if the error will be on Casserly or on Roddy, or whether they'll give him an infield hit. I think they're going to give him a hit.
I think they're going to give him a hit as
Yeah,
well.
so mark it down as a single for Tucker Linder, an RBI single. And now Nate Osmo to the plate with a runner at first. 2 outs here in the third. 4-0 is the score in favor of the Grand Lake Mariners. Nate Osmo, a .306 batting average, 5 doubles, a triple, 2 home runs, 14 RBIs for the shortstop from Dartmouth. Tucker Linder leads from first. Zach Wallace very preoccupied with him. Couple of throwovers already. Here's another one, and the pickoff attempt is there in time. Laying down the tag is Kyle Casserly, and that is out number 3 here in the third inning of play. But the Mariners strike again. 2 runs on 2 hits. Well, 2 runs on 1 hit, I should say, and nobody left aboard for the Grand Lake Mariners. We have reached the middle of the third inning here. 4-0 Mariners is your score. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You are listening to on the Xenia Scouts.
Hitting off in the third. At second base, number 9, and draw.
So we go to the bottom of the third inning here. 4-0 the score in favor of the Grand Lake Mariners. It'll be the 7, 8, 9 spots in the Xenia Scouts order to the plate with Ange Bourgeois, Joey Rowdy, and Francisco Andina due up here at the minimum. Doc Wilkerson is back out on the mound. First pitch to Ange Bourgeois, fastball low and away. 1 ball and no strikes to Ange Bourgeois. Bourgeois, the second baseman from Biola University, a .235 hitter on the year, 6 RBIs for Bourgeois. He waves and misses there. Evens up the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Bourgeois hits from the left side here against the lefty. The 1-1 pitch. And Anch hits that one hard over towards second base. The second baseman, Buckman, has it. He throws over to first in time. 1 away.
And that unfortunately has been the night so far for the Scouts. That ball hit pretty hard, but the second baseman, Buckman, getting, I believe, 3 ground balls here in the first 7 batters.
Yes, he's turned 2 double plays already. So now Joey Roddy to the plate. Joey Roddy has, what'd you say? He has himself a 4-game hit streak?
Has a hit in in 4 of the last 6 games.
Wow.
So for Roddy, who was batting below 100 for a while, up to $143, starting to pick it up a little as we're halfway through the year.
And as you say that long point, and Doc Wilkerson working very quickly here. Joey's already behind the count, 0-2. He flies one, foul territory, third base side, or first base side. The first baseman chases but watches it go into the bullpen. We are going to stay at 0-2. Roddy, the third baseman from the Ohio State University, hasn't had an extra base hit yet this year. A 143 hitter with 5 RBIs, 3 of them on bases loaded walks. 10 walks on the year for Roddy in total. The 0-2 pitch here. Big curveball. Roddy watching all the way. The count moves 1 ball and 2 strikes. Roddy getting the night off yesterday. Waits 1-2. Watching on the outside yet again. Count evens 2-2. Francisco Andina awaits on deck here. The bottom of the third, 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 away. Grand Lake leading the Scouts 4-0. The pitch, and Roddy hits that one in the air in the left center field gap, and that one's going to drop right in front of the warning track. Rolling to the wall, Joey Roddy is headed for second. The throw to second will not get there. Joey Roddy is at second, standing with a double, his first extra base hit of the year. And Joey Roddy has gotten things going offensively for the Scouts here in the home half of the third.
And make it a hit in 5 of his last 7 games. Roddy really picking it up here as of late. And now can the Scouts get something going with 1 down in the third, already down 4-0?
It's Francisco Andina to the plate. Joey Roddy at second. Here with 1 away in the home half of the third. Roddy leads from second. The first pitch to Andina. Frankie fouls that one straight back off the mask of the catcher. 0-1, the count of Francisco Andina. Andina, the center fielder from Spring Arbor College, or Spring Arbor University, I should say. A .226 hitter on the year, 3 doubles, a home run, and 4 RBIs for the Puerto Rican center fielder. He bats from the left side here against the southpaw Doc Wilkerson. The 0-1 pitch, curveball taken in there for a called strike. Francisco Andina quickly behind in this count, 0-2, and now with 2 strikes on Andina, the bunt, which we've seen Andina beat out for an infield hit a couple of times, off the table probably.
And that curveball drops in there, but it is very slow velocity-wise. Let's see if Andina can wait back if he gets it again.
The 0-2 way on the outside. Good job there by the catcher, Eastlich, I should say, to get out of his crouch and prevent that one from going to the backstop and allowing Joey Roddy to head over to third. So a ball and 2 strikes now, the count to Francisco Andina. Roddy leads from second, the pitch. And that one fouled straight back yet again. The catcher, Eastlich, has taken a beating. 2 balls off the face mask and 1 ball having to get him out of his crouch.
And you'll see the home plate umpire here just walk the ball to the mound, give Eastlich some time to
shake it off,
regroup, take a deep breath.
So following the foul ball, the count stays 1-2 on Francisco Andina. Ben Beachy awaits on deck. Joey Roddy at second, following his first double of the year. Roddy leads from second. The 1-2 pitch to Andina. Curveball, swing and a miss, like Gabe said, low velocity. And way ahead of that one was Francisco Andina, the first punch out of the day for Doc Wilkerson. And now 2 away, and it'll be the job of Ben Beachy to prevent the Scouts from doing what they did a number of times yesterday, what ended up being the killer yesterday, and that's leaving runners in scoring position on base. So Beachy comes to the plate. He reached to lead this game off. It was an error on the second baseman, Blake Buckman. First pitch to Beach. He lifts that one in the air, right field. The right fielder calling for it, Pat Rafe. He makes the grab for out number 3. So Joey Roddy doubles, but the Scouts unable to do anything with him. No runs on 1 hit and 1 man left aboard for Xenia. We have played 3 innings of baseball here at Grady's Field in beautiful Xenia, Ohio. Your Scouts trail the Grand Lake Mariners by a score of 4-0. The man, the myth, the legend, Gabe Genovesi, going to take you all the way through the 3rd or the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th inning on the play-by-play, and I will stand in with some less than intelligent comments on the side. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network.
To the top of the 4th we go here at Grady's Field. A 4-0 Grand Lake Mariners lead over your Xenia Scouts as we head to the top of the 4th inning. Zach Wallace back out on the mound for his 4th inning of work. Nate Osmo, R.J. Williams, and Joe Isles, the 5, 6, 7 hitters for the Mariners, due up here in the top of the 4th inning. The first pitch from Wallace, curveball high, ball 1. Osmo 0 for 1 on the day. He flew out to the left fielder Lambert to end the 1st inning. Zach Wallace, who has only allowed 4 hits so far today, an error as well. Grand Lake has got on the board 4 times. The pitch, curveball. Osmo went around 1-1. Nate Osmo will be a junior at Dartmouth this next year. In his sophomore camp, 4 doubles, 4 triples, 32 hits, knocked in 20. The 1-1 pitch, curveball, skied high, foul ball down the 3rd baseline, 1-2.
And Zach Wallace now 36 pitches into this contest, and it'll be interesting how long Corey Coob's going to let him go and who comes in next. I'm expecting Michael Pineda O'Donnell to come in relief for the Scouts.
Wallace ahead in the count, 1-2. The pitch, curveball, in the dirt. Osmo checked his swing. He did not go around. Ryan Park thought he might have applied the tag, but the count's even at 2-2.
You just saw Osmo. He knew that was a close one, a big grin on his face. As they said, he held off on that one. So new shot at life for Osmo. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Wallace sets the 2-2 delivery. Fastball popped up. Foul territory. Casserly moving over near first base. Makes the grab, 1 down.
So for the first time in this ball game, Zach Wallace has retired the leadoff man for the Grand Lake Mariners.
And that's got to be a sigh of relief if you're Zach Wallace. Anytime a leadoff man can get on to start out the inning, you just get a little shaky. You don't have that good feeling.
It definitely puts the stress levels a little bit higher than they would be with nobody on.
That brings up R.J. Williams. Williams, a .350 hitter, 1 for 1 today with a single back in the 2nd inning. That curveball low and away, 1-0. R.J. Williams will be a junior at Bowling Green in the Mid-American Conference this next season. Bowling Green as a team last year, not too hot, 15-34 in the MAC. They did not make the Mid-American Conference tournament. Williams stands in as a lefty. Wallace, the righty, the 1-0. Curveball, fouled off the front foot of Williams, 1-0. Excuse me, 1-1.
And to give you some out-of-town scores here, we got the Jazz and the Copperheads in action, and it's 2-0 in favor of the Richmond Jazz. That game in the top of the second right now. Otherwise, the Joes and the Steam in action, 2-0 Steam.
The 1-1 to Williams, off speed, inside at the knee, strike two. RJ Williams showed bunt there and pulled it back. And it counts 1-2 on the junior from Bowling Green. Williams, I mentioned the single back in the second. A positive sign for him as he was 3 for his last 13. He lays the bat on his back shoulder. The pitch. Curveball low and away, 2-2. Williams, third on this Grand Lake Mariners team in on-base percentage at .435. Wallace sets the 2-2 pitch. Fastball, line drive, base hit, right field. Owens picks it up in right, lobs the ball in to Bourgeois at second. RJ Williams is on with a one-out single.
And the second hit of the day for RJ Williams, 2 for 2, and he continues to get it done against Zach Wallace. We saw Williams his last time on the base path actually got caught in a pickle following a Zach Wallace pickoff move. You talked about it earlier, 7 for 7 on stolen bases. I guess it's 7 for 8 now, but Wallace expecting to be very careful with the runner RJ Williams here with 1 on and nobody out, or 1 on and 1 out, I should say.
Joe Isles steps to the plate for the Mariners. The righty waves his bat above his back shoulder. Now the pitch. Fastball popped up in the infield. Bourgeois at second, coming in on the green turf, makes the grab, 2 down.
And that is, I believe, it's the second time in as many innings that we've seen that from Zach Wallace. We saw it in the third after the big debacle with the error on the throw on the bunt that allowed the runner to score from first and putting another one in scoring position. Wallace goes right at the next batter, a pop-up on the infield to get it out. So we saw it again there. So that's Bourgeois and Casserly both getting their work done here on the infield pop-ups just 4 innings into this ballgame.
Nick Varda to the plate for the Mariners. 0 for 1 today. He was the second victim of Wallace back in the second inning. Varda, a .250 hitter on the year, only 7 for 28. Mentioned it earlier that he is not an everyday player in this Mariners lineup. Wallace steps off the rubber, looks back at RJ Williams, no throw. 2 down here in the top of the fourth. A 4-0 Grand Lake Mariners lead over the Xenia Scouts. Zach Wallace trying to get out of his 4th inning of work. Steps off, throws over. Williams doesn't even dive back. Takes a couple steps back safely.
For Wallace, who's gotten 2 guys on pickoff moves, you'd think Williams would have a little bit more of a sense of urgency there. Trying to get back. I guess not.
Wallace taking his time, getting the sign from Park. Williams' small lead, the pitch. Fastball outside corner, strike 1. Nick Varda, a .364 on base percentage because of 5 walks on the year, along with his 7 for 28. Stands in as a lefty. The elbow high, the bat waves above his back shoulder. And now he will call time. As Wallace, we talked about it, is very slow on the mound.
Well, the moment a runner gets on base, Wallace it's like the Snapchat filter with the snail where it makes everything go a little bit slower. It's the human rain delay every time there's a runner on.
The 0-1, curveball, swing and a miss, low in the dirt, 0-2. A good pitch from Wallace, who really got Varda out in front there.
And like Gabe said, Varda, who went down swinging his first time up, Wallace with an opportunity here to get his 4th punch out in as many innings.
The infield normal depth for the Scouts. The 0-2 pitch, curveball way outside, never really broke.
Yeah, that one certainly not the pitch that Wallace was looking for there. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Nick Varda, the designated hitter tonight. He was not in the lineup yesterday against the Xenia Scouts. So if he does play the field, we're not really sure where. The 1-2 pitch from Zach Wallace. Fastball low in the dirt. Park blocked it. The throw down to second, and R.J. Williams is tagged out for the second time today. R.J. Williams came into the day 7 for 7 on stolen bases. He's been caught twice this evening. And we'll head to the bottom half of the fourth, a 4-0 lead for the Grand Lake Mariners over the Xenia Scouts. You're listening to Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. A 4-0 Grand Lake Mariners lead over the Xenia Scouts as we head to the home half of the fourth inning. Ryan Park will lead it off for the Scouts, trying to get something going here in the fourth, as the Scouts have only registered 2 hits through the first 3 innings. Park takes a ball low and inside, 1-0. Park will be followed by Jordan Lambert and Caleb Fernholtz, the 2-3-4 hitters for the Scouts tonight. Ryan Park grounded into a double play his first time up, takes a strike inside at the knees, 1-1. Park has reached base in 10 straight games for the Scouts. The 1-1 pitch, skied high, foul territory, first base line. A diving attempt made by the first baseman, Linder. He did not quite get there. And Park will get new life as the count sits at 1-2. Ryan Park has reached base in 23 of his last 41 at-bats. That's a .563 on-base percentage in his last 41.
Yeah, Park has done a tremendous job at the top of the Scouts lineup. And, even when he's been cold from the plate, he's drawing 2 or 3 walks per day. Park, after grounding out into the double play his first time up, let's see if he can get a base hit here, get things going for the Scouts offensively, who desperately need to get something, anything on the board.
The 1-2 high, 2-2. Now Park, hard ground ball. Osmo fields it at short, throws over, 1 away. So Ryan Park is at 2 balls hardly on the ground, both right to the middle infielders.
Yeah, really good job, take away the first ball hit by Ben Beachy when Buckman made the error. The middle infield for these Grand Lake Mariners have done a tremendous job. 2 double plays turned, very effective. That ground ball, a very hard hit ground ball from Park, and no guarantee that every shortstop's going to make it, but no problem for Nate Osmo.
Lambert takes a curveball low and away, 1-0. Jordan Lambert, a hard line drive to the first baseman Linder in the first inning, as he's 0 for 1 today. Takes a curveball high and inside, 2-0. Doc Wilkerson still on the mound for the Grand Lake Mariners, working very quickly. The 2-0 pitch, fastball low and outside, 3-0. Lambert steps out, takes a check swing. Steps back in as the Scouts trail 4-0 here in the bottom half of the fourth. And now a 4-pitch walk to Jordan Lambert. He's on for the first time today, and that'll bring up Caleb Fernholtz.
Yeah, Lambert just watching all the way there. And, Doc Wilkerson, who hadn't walked a guy yet tonight, puts his first man on board with the base on balls and almost looked like, I don't know whether he was trying to avoid pitching to Lambert, but now a guy with a lot of power here in Caleb Fernholtz.
Fernholtz, this is his third at-bat of the year for the Scouts. He takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Fernholtz came in and pinch hit yesterday, lined a double to right center. He popped out to deep center field at the warning track his first time up today. The 0-1 off speed in there at the chest, 0-2. And Fernholtz said when the ball came off his bat, his first thought was, wow, that went to right center field. He said he never takes the ball the other way. He was shocked. The 0-2 outside, 1-2. He said that was his first competitive collegiate at-bat since freshman year when he got one at-bat and he popped it up on the infield. The 1-2. Fastball high at the eyes, 2-2.
And great job plate discipline-wise from Fernholtz here, who, like you said, hasn't seen a lot of pitching like this. The pitcher Wilkerson, a Division I talent, Louisiana Tech out in Conference USA. Fernholtz has his work cut out for him.
The 2-2 fouled off down the third baseline. Will stay there.
And when you talk to Ross Yoder, after Fernholtz came and they did some hitting in the inside cages, Corey Coobs asked him how it looked. I was there to witness the conversation. He said, the man has incredible bat speed.
The 2-2 pitch, curveball, strike 3, inside at the knees. Fernholtz goes down looking, 2 down here in the fourth.
A good pitch selection there from Doc Wilkerson. Curveball inside low, a very close pitch, and Fernholtz thought he was taking ball 3 there, but unfortunately, there's a couple ways that you get guys to go down looking, and it's you either completely fool them or you have them set up for something else. That curveball just breaking on the inside at the right time.
Casserly, hard ground ball. A great sliding stop by Buckman at second. Casserly's retired, and that'll do it for the Scouts here in the fourth. They get a base runner on the Lambert walk, but nothing doing once again, and the Scouts trail 4-0 as we head to the fifth. You're listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. To the fifth we go here at Grady's Field in Xenia, Ohio. A 4-0 Grand Lake Mariners lead over your Xenia Scouts as we head to the fifth. And Zach Wallace out there for a fifth inning of work, Andrew. He's given up 4 runs on 6 hits. Hasn't got helped out in the field much with an error and another ball that was kind of bobbled, not called an error. It was called a hit. And we'll see if he can get through 5.
Yeah, realistically, I think that the 2 runs that came off of Wallace in the third, they might be earned. Well, one of them will be earned, but both of them, actually, I don't think either of them will be earned.
We'll have to check.
Yeah, well, I can check right now, but definitely, if not earned, certainly not deserved, as I'm looking at it now, and yes, only 2 of the 4 runs for Zach Wallace earned. So after slipping up in the first inning, he's really kind of gotten himself into a groove, but the fielder's doing him no favors.
The 0-1 pitch to Nick Varda, low and away, 1-1. Varda, who was up last inning with a 2-2 count, actually deep in the count when R.J. Williams got caught stealing at second on a ball low in the dirt. Ryan Park did a great job to pick that ball up and fire it over to second.
Yeah, tremendous job defensively today for Ryan Park.
The 1-1 to Varda. Fastball, foul ball behind the Xenia Scouts dugout down the third base line. 1-2. Joey Roddy at the hot corner for the Scouts. Ben Beachy over at short. Ange Bourgeois at second, deep in the hole in the grass with Varda being a lefty. Kyle Casserly deep on the grass as well near the line at first. No shift on for the outfield of the Scouts. The pitch, line drive. Bourgeois fields it on a hop, fires over to first. 1 down.
And by no means an easy play from Bourgeois. That ball was hit in the air and bounces right like at Bourgeois' feet. But able to field that with his glove, I guess, in the perfect place there, made it look effortless as he just tosses over to Casterly, out number 1. And, you know, those are the kind of plays that your middle infielders put in there that will not go as appreciated from the fans. But at the end of the day, that's the difference between a good second baseman and an average second baseman.
The first pitch to the 9-hole hitter, Tom Eslich, down low, ball 1. Eslich only playing in his third game with the Grand Lake Mariners. Joined the team this past weekend. Walked back in the third inning. Came around to score as well. The 1-0 pitch fouled off. 1-1. Tom Eslich, 0 for 6 on the year. Does not have a hit yet. Hoping to obviously end that today. The righty stands in. The 1-1 from the righty Wallace. Curveball, swing and a miss. Strike 2.
Good job there by S. Air on a ball here ahead of the count, of ball and 2 strikes.
Sets, takes the sign from Paul. And Eslich is going to call time. Once again, we've seen that a lot from these Grand Lake Mariners hitters. Calling time on Zach Wallace as he was not afraid to just stand up on the rubber.
Well, I'm about to call time on Zach Wallace. His suspense is killing me.
The pitch. Curveball, swing and a miss. Strike 3. Zach Wallace strikes out his 4th of the game. And there's 2 down here in the 5th.
Great job there by Wallace. 4 strikeouts in 4 2/3 innings, I should say. But now has to face a guy in Pat Rafe that he has not retired yet. Rafe reaching base twice, scoring 50% of the runs that these Grand Lake Mariners have put up so far today.
Rafe 1 for 1 and also reached on an error. The curveball below the knees, ball 1. Patrick Rafe will be a junior with South Carolina Upstate. Had a good year with the Spartans this past year, a .323 average. That curveball just misses below the knees, 2-0. Rafe actually from the area, as Andrew mentioned a couple innings ago, right here in Dayton.
So he's probably, I bet you he played some of his youth games growing up here at Grady's Field. This field used for a lot of local tournaments. And
that 2-0 pitch fouled off down the third baseline. That'd be nice, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you think that the other teams aren't a little bit jealous when they roll in here? Do you think the Jazz don't like playing here compared to what they play at? No disrespect to any Jazz fans out there, but I like the full turf here a little bit better.
The 2-1 pitch, fastball, line drive, foul ball down the third base line. 2-2. And look at the hustle from Caleb Bly coming out of the dugout, giving our home plate umpire some foul balls here.
Caleb Bly is, I would define him as a hustle guy. High energy. He asked you to play with my fidget spinner today. Wouldn't give it back. Just messing around with it.
I do not get that trend.
Yeah, I mean, I'm warming up to it.
I'm not into the fidget spinners. The 2-2 pitch, curveball, flied high and deep to left field. Lambert going back, makes the catch just in front of the warning track. 3 up, 3 down for Zach Wallace for the first time today. We head to the home half of the 5th. The Scouts trail 4-0. You're listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We head to the home half of the 5th inning here at Grady's Field on a gorgeous night here in Xenia, Ohio. A 4-0 Grand Lake Mariners lead over your Xenia Scouts as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Doc Wilkerson still on the mound for the Mariners. Caden Owens chops at the first pitch. The first baseman Linder steps on first, one down here in the 6th.
And nothing going for Owens already here. A couple of at-bats, a couple of groundouts. Caden, a guy that we see pretty much pick up at least one hit per ball game.
On a 6-game hit streak.
On a 6-game hit streak, exactly. I'm sure he'll have, hopefully, at least one more time. He'll definitely have at least one more time to the plate. Hopefully, a couple more than that. But nothing going for him thus far.
Ange Bourgeois to the plate now for the Scouts. Back-to-back lefties in the 6-7 hole tonight as Bourgeois takes a strike in the outside corner. Bourgeois for 1 tonight. Grounded out to the second baseman Buckman his first time up. That curveball just misses off the outside edge. 1-1. Bourgeois, 235 hitter for the Scouts, but he has a hit in 10 of his last 12 games. What you'll see from Bourgeois a lot is just one hit a game. He has 10 games this year with just one hit as he takes a strike at the knees, 1 and 2.
A lot of them have come in big spots, though, no lie.
Bourgeois, 6 RBIs on the year. And a couple of those, as you mentioned, late in ball games to tie, if not take the lead in games. The 1-2 pitch, curveball chopped over the head of Wilkerson on the mound. The ball picked up by Osmo at short, and Bourgeois is out at first.
And once again, man, this infield, this middle infielders, the shortstop Nate Osmo and the second baseman Blake Buckman have robbed what could have been 2 or 3 infield hits from these Scouts batters. It's just they continue to just put on a display. Just like that, 2 away.
And in steps Joey Roddy. Roddy has provided one of the highlights of the night for the Scouts, a 1-out double back in the 3rd. He got stranded at second, though, as he takes a ball low and in. Joey Roddy, that was his first extra base hit of the year.
Indeed.
9 for 57 on the year, came in batting a .143. Swings to a fastball on the outside corner, 1-1. Roddy, 10 walks on the year, so he does have a .279 on-base percentage. Now the pitch, curveball, ground ball, base hit, left field. Joey Roddy, he's 2 for 2 today. His second multi-hit game of the year.
And Joey Roddy stays hot. And, after, I believe, I'm trying to figure out what the lowest his batting average got was.
It was below 100.
Yeah, it was certainly below 100. I'm not going to go as far as to actually say what it was, but Roddy is now, because that's what we expected out of the redshirt freshman from Ohio State. Just hadn't seen live pitching in a long time, and he continues to stay hot and is, 2/3 of the Scouts' offense thus far.
Andina grounds one down the first base line, just foul, as it went right to Linder at the bag, who was holding on Roddy. And if that ball was about 6 inches to the left and bounced on that white line in the turf, Linder has himself one of the quickest outs ever.
Absolutely.
Andina 0 for 1 today with a strikeout. The pitch, curveball in there for strike 2. And that curveball got Andina the first time up as well.
Joey Roddy's average up to a $172 now. How about that?
We'll have to look at what it is the last 5-7 games or whatever and see how much he's improved over the last week. The curveball driven high, deep toward the warning track, but not deep enough. The right fielder, Rafe, makes the grab, and that'll do it for the Scouts here in the 5th. Joey Roddy's single doesn't do anything for Xenia's. They can't scratch or run across. 1 hit, no runs, 1 left aboard. We'll head to the 6th. 4-0 Mariners. You're listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. Nothing's registering.
Why is this? All right, we'll just go to no video for now. Wait, is it not registered?
Check. 1, 2, 3. Check.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
And we're live,
Yeah,
so if
yeah.
you can
How
hear
about
us, I apologize for the technical difficulties. As
It's just odd technical difficulties. See, the thing with the technical difficulties for us is because it's just us two. Sometimes we don't even know the technical difficulties exist until we figure out that they've been going on for about 5 minutes. So occasionally we talk to ourselves. For those of you that don't know, it was a 1-2-3 inning. Out to left, a line out to Ben Beachy at short, and then Zach Wallace sat down Tucker Linder, a strikeout looking in the top of the sixth. So still 4-0 here. And now to Gabe as the Scouts are back to bat in the home half.
Ben Beachy, the leadoff hitter for the Scouts, will lead it off here in the sixth. He takes a ball on a strike. 1-1. Beachy tonight 0 for 2. He did reach on an error in the first inning. Takes an off-speed pitch at the chest. Strike 2. Beachy leads the Xenia Scouts team in hits, doubles, and RBIs. The pitch, curveball, ground ball towards second. Buckman picks it up, fires over to first, 1 down.
And one thing I can say about Doc Wilkerson is he has been able to force ground outs to the middle infield all night long.
And that'll bring up Ryan Park for the Xenia Scouts. And I'm counting 8 ground outs to either the second baseman or the shortstop. And we are now 19 batters through for Doc Wilkerson. The curveball low and inside to Park, 1-0. He's 0 for 2 today with a ground out to the second baseman and a ground out to the shortstop. This time, Park fouls one off, 1-1. Ryan Park came into tonight a .494 on-base percentage. First on the team. Top 15 in the league as well. Now that off-speed pitch misses off the outside corner, 2-1.
With the top of the order due up here, the Scouts have just not been able to get anything going so far, but 3 men left on base. They trailed by 4 in this game. Time to make a mark here.
Park takes the ball low. 3-1 to the 2-hole hitter tonight for the Scouts. The pitch, fastball, blooped, foul territory. Down the first base line, 3-2. The Scouts fans here at Grady's Field tonight trying to urge on Ryan Park to a hit. The 3-2 pitch inside. Oh, no, he rang him up. Ryan Park goes down looking on a fastball that was on the inside part of the plate. 2 down.
Yeah. As a broadcaster, man, the worst thing in the world is those delayed calls. And Ryan Park, he waited for the delay too, as he was, looking over towards first to take his base, but in there for a called strike 3, they say. And 2 away now.
Jordan Lambert takes the ball low and away. He's 0 for 1 with a walk today. Lambert has been hot as of late. A .311 hitter for the Scouts. This time he grounds wood over to Linder at first. Another 1-2-3 inning for the Scouts as they are struggling to hit the ball tonight. 3 hits through 6 innings for Xenia, and they trail 4-0 as we head to the 7th. Andrew Alex will have the play-by-play the rest of the way. You're listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network.
We go into the top of the 7th inning here. Andrew Alix alongside Gabe Genovesi at Grady's Field in Xenia. The Scouts trail by a score of 4-0. And it'll be Nate Osmo, R.J. Williams, and Joe Ailes due up for the not Richmond Jets, the Grand Lake Mariners. And as first pitch to R.J. Williams is taken hard left field foul ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Zach Wallace here out for his 7th inning of work. He allowed 2 earned runs in the top of the 1st inning. Since then, no earned runs. However, 2 unearned runs in the top of the 3rd. A ball, no balls and a strike to Nate Osmo, the 0-1 pitch. That one comes on the inside, evens things up 1-1. Osmo, the shortstop from Dartmouth, 0 for 2 on the day, has done a tremendous job, however, playing in that shortstop role defensively. A lights-out evening for the Grand Lake Mariners middle infield. 1-1 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? They'll say he did. So Zach Wallace ahead in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wallace has 5 punch outs on the night thus far. 4 of them swinging, 1 looking. As Wallace steps off. I don't know what. There seems to be some kind of conversational piece going on right here. Two balls and 1 strike here. Zach Wallace against Nate Osmo. Osmo from the right side. Here's the pitch. That one on the inside again. 3 balls and 1 strike. Nate Osmo from Dartmouth, the native of Portland, Oregon. And, you know, folks, how do you end up from Portland to New Hampshire? Well, I'll tell you, it's that Ivy League education. 3 balls and a strike now for Wallace. As that one taken low and inside, ball number 4. So a 5-pitch walk has the leadoff man, Nate Osmo, aboard. And a guy who has had an interesting night on the offensive side, R.J. Williams, coming to the plate. We are in the top of the 7th inning here. 1 on and nobody out as Bubba Cates going to come out to the mound, and this might be it for Zach Wallace. Cates, the 3rd-year manager of the Xenia Scouts, 2016 Great Lakes League Manager of the Year. A bona fide legend in college baseball coaching. As we see who looks to be Michael Pineda O'Donnell warming up in the bullpen, and there seems, I cannot tell what's going on, but the umpires and Zach Wallace seem to be having some kind of conversation, and Wallace goes over. Cates is having a word. Cates going out to the mound now. And this looks to be it for Zach Wallace here in his 7th inning of work. Michael Pineda O'Donnell continues to throw warm-up pitches in the bullpen. 1 on. Nobody out here for the Scouts. Or for the Grand Lake Mariners, I should say, in the top of the 7th. We're going to get you the out-of-town scoreboard again while this is going on. It's 3-0. Hamilton Joes, they lead the or 3-0 Cincinnati Steam, they lead the Hamilton Joes. It actually looks like Cates is going to leave Zach Wallace in this ball game. He heads back to the dugout. So Wallace will get the chance to face R.J. Williams here in the top of the 7th. Williams, the center fielder from Bowling Green State University, he is 2 for 2. But both times, he singled both times to the plate. But both times he reached, he ended up getting called out. Or getting put out once, trying to steal, and well, actually both times trying to steal. One from Ryan Park, however, getting him at second. Once from the pickoff move by Zach Wallace. So first pitch to him, he shows bunt, pulls back. That ball in the dirt. Good job there by Ryan Park to stay in front of it. 1 ball and no strikes to R.J. Williams. Williams with Bowling Green this past season. Well, he played a little bit, 23 games played. He hit a .133 for the Falcons, and like Gabe mentioned earlier in the day, Bowling Green, not a great season, 15-34 this past spring. 1-0 to R.J. Williams. 1 on and nobody out. Shows bunt again. That one fouled down the first base line. Evens the count 1 ball and 1 strike. R.J. hitting from the left side here against the righty Zach Wallace. He is 5 for his last 15 at the plate. Williams, the native of Pickerington, Ohio. Pickerington, Ohio, of course, the home of University of Michigan tight end Jake Butt. That's pickoff attempt over to first, not in time to get Jake Osmo. And for those of you who do not know who Jake Butt is, Michigan tight end, tremendous athlete, ended up getting drafted by the Denver Broncos in the 5th round. So he'll be able to play alongside a number of bona fide stars out there in Denver as the runner goes. Hit and run on that ball, foul down the first baseline. So hit and run was on, but after the foul ball, Wallace ahead in the count here. 1 ball, 2 strikes on R.J. Williams. The top of the 7th inning, a 4-0 game in favor of the Grand Lake Mariners. Wallace has thrown now 5 straight innings without allowing an earned run. Has held the Mariners to just 5 hits on the evening. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Wallace, pickoff attempt again. Not going to get there. So we'll stay at 1-2. It's R.J. Williams at the plate. Joe Isles awaits on deck for these Grand Lake Mariners. 1-2 now. Here's the pitch. That one in the dirt on the outside. Ryan Park shuffles over, blocks it. Evens up the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two and two now. In what has been quite a long at bat here in the top of the 7th. The 2-2 delivery. And that one's hit in the air left field. Going back, Jordan Lambert. He slows up at the track, makes the grab. Heading back to first is Nate Osmo. Mark that down as an F. A fly out number. So Zach Wallace certainly fighting in that at bat, but retires R.J. Williams now, and Joe Ailes going to come to the plate. Ailes, the third baseman from Illinois State, a 313 hitter on the year, 4 doubles, 2 home runs, 11 RBIs. So far today, or should I say Ailes? It's Isles. Joe Isles is 0 for 2 on the day. Pickoff attempt over to first, yet again, not in time. Isles is the native of Champaign, Illinois, which is where the University of Illinois is located. Not Illinois State, however, University of Illinois being the Division I Big Ten program. His father, Rick Isles, was drafted in the 8th round of the NFL draft in 1989. Tight end for the Cleveland Browns. So you always see these kids, these very athletic families. Still awaiting the first pitch is Joe Isles. He or the right side, and he lifts that one into center field. Francisco Andina trying to get there, but that'll drop in front of him. Joe Isles, the 6th hit of the day for the Grand Lake Mariners, and 2 and 1 out now, and Zach Wallace finds himself in a tad bit of a jam with Nick Varda and Tom Eslich coming to the plate. It'll be interesting to see here if Bubba Cates allows Wallace to face one more batter. Once again, not a very hard hit, but Wallace, who is very deep into this ball game pitch count wise, kind of likely to get the pull, and out comes Bubba Cates right now. And that is for Zach Wallace's night. So Bubba Cates, a call to the bullpen. And we are going to step off as the relief pitcher warms up. So don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. A 4-0 game in the top of the 7th. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We are back here in the top of the 7th inning, and Michael Pineda O'Donnell is in to pitch for the Xenia Scouts. It is Grand Lake Mariners at first and second base here with one away in the top of the 7th. Pineda O'Donnell is tasked to try to hold these runners on base, prevent them from scoring, and keep the Scout deficit to just 4. So Pineda O'Donnell on the season. Let's look at the numbers. A 6.42 ERA in 21 innings pitched. He has allowed 15 earned runs, striking out 13, walking 7, allowing 6 extra base hits, all of them doubles. The pitch. First pitch from Michael Pineda O'Donnell, fastball, belt high, a called strike 1. The batter is Nick Varda. Varda is 0 for 2 on the day, a strikeout and a ground out. Runners at first and second here with one away in the top of the 7th. Pineda O'Donnell throws from the right side here. Nick Varda batting from the left. Pineda O'Donnell looks back to second, now delivers the 0-1 pitch. That one a grounder up the middle. Ange Bourgeois charging. He fields it, throws over to first in time. Gets the out. Mark it down as a 4-3, but a high chopper on the inside takes away the double play ball. Both runners advance 90 feet, and now with 2 away, and the 9-hitter Tom Eslich to the plate. It'll be a big spot here and a big out for Michael Pineda O'Donnell. Eslich hitless on the season, 0 for 7. He has drawn 2 walks. Came around to score, actually, back in the 3rd inning on a walk. So he bats from the right side against the righty. It's Joe Isles at second, Nate Osmo at third. First pitch from Mike. That one is hit hard towards Ben Beachy at short. He bobbles it, picks it up, throws over to first. Not in time. Tom Eslich beats out the throw over at first, or at least that is what the field umpire says. So mark it down as, I don't know whether they'll officially rule that as a hit or an error, but Nate Osmo comes home on the ground out. Joe Isles advancing to third. The score now 5-0 in favor of the Grand Lake Mariners. So an incredibly tough break if you're the Xenia Scouts, as that looked like a tailor-made ground ball that could have put another goose egg on the board, but now 5-0 the score, and back to the top of the order with Pat Rafe. Rafe has reached base twice today, 2 for 3. He takes first pitch on the outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Runners at the corners here. 2 away in the top of the 7th, 5-0 the score in favor of the Grand Lake Mariners. And Pineda O'Donnell steps off the mound. 1 ball and no strikes with 2 away. Rafe, a .315 hitter coming into this game. 3 RBIs, a double. As that one's hit in the air, right field, that one's going to drop. 1 run comes home. Going from first to third is Eslich. He will slide into third without a throw. An RBI single off the bat of Pat Rafe and make it 6-0 in favor of the Mariners. The third 2 spot of this ballgame for Grand Lake, and certainly a tough pill to swallow if you're the Xenia Scouts. But you know what they say, it's not over till it's over. And now it's going to be Blake Buckman to the plate, and Pineda O'Donnell's going to have to try to get him for out number 3. So 2 runs have come home already. It was a walk followed by a single, and then an infield single, creating 2 runs there. 3 hits in the inning so far. The pitch, that one first pitch outside. 1 ball, no strikes to Blake Buckman. Buckman's 0 for 3 on the day, a strikeout and a couple of flyouts for the second baseman from Louisiana, Monroe. He comes into the game a .275 hitter. 3 home runs on the season, however, tied for the team lead for these Grand Lake Mariners. Buckman. He bats from the right side against the righty, Michael Pineda O'Donnell. O'Donnell, he delivers. And that one in there for a strike. Throw over to second will be in time. The runner tries to steal, but Ryan Park throws out another guy. Park doing a tremendous job behind the dish, and that is out number 3 here in the top of the 7th inning. But 2 runs on 4 hits and 1 man left aboard for the Grand Lake Mariners. We have reached the 7th inning stretch. The Scouts trail the Mariners by a score of 6-0. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning here. Andrew, Alix, Gabe Genovesi. The Scouts trail by a score of 6-0. As we head to the home half, it'll be Caleb Fernholz, Kyle Casserly, and Caden Owens due up here for the Scouts in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch to Fernie. That one grounded softly over towards third. Joe Isles fields it, throws over to first in time. Out number 1. So Fernie 0 for 3 on the day. That one's certainly one that he probably was not looking for. Just what had the looks of a foul ball. Unfortunately, stays in play and just slowly rolls down the third base line. So he is retired for the first out here in the 7th. So now Kyle Casserly coming to the plate. Casserly, he's 1 for 2 on the day. A single back in the 2nd. Oh, the first hit of the game for the Scouts as he takes first pitch inside. Well, inside part of the zone, I should say. One no balls and 1 strike. Cass, a .219 hitter on the year. Curveball on 0-1. That one finding the zone yet again. And Cass behind in this count, 0-2.
Yeah, Casserly, one of 2 Scouts with a hit today.
Check swing, ball on the outside. Did he go? Appeal to the field umpire says he held off. So the count now moves 1 ball and 2 strikes to Kyle Casserly.
Cass with the single. Joey Roddy with the double and a single. The only 3 hits.
The Scouts, who trail 6-0 here, need to get something going. 0-2 pitch, slow chopper, first base line. The pitcher fields it. He'll toss it to the first baseman. Mark it down as a 1-3, and Kyle Casserly is retired. 2 up, 2 down to get things going for the Scouts here in the home half of the 7th.
And that's been the story of the Xenia Scouts tonight.
Certainly a tough day offensively, and then for Zach Wallace on the mound, we'll say it was a pretty decent outing, but unfortunately, sometimes the ball just does not roll your way, and with the 2 errors, and then unfortunately, the hard-hit ball to beat you over at short, not getting the call there. His first pitch to Caden Owens finds the zone, a called strike 1. Caden Owens is 0 for 2 on the day. He's grounded out into a 4-6-3 double play and grounded out over to first. The 0-1 pitch to Caden, curveball. That one finds the zone, a called strike 2. Owens, a .268 hitter on the year, 3 doubles, 3 RBIs. He bats from the left side against the lefty. Doc Wilkerson shakes his catcher off twice, but now he has what he wants. Owens hits it on the ground up the middle. Shortstop Osmo comes in, picks it up, throws over to first in time. out number 3. So the Scouts go down in order in what has been a tough day offensively, to put it lightly. No runs on no hits and nobody left aboard for Xenia. We have played 7 innings of baseball here at beautiful Grady's Field. The Scouts trail by a score of 6-0. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. Inning number 8 of baseball here at Grady's Field. The Scouts trailing by a score of 6-0. Michael Pineda O'Donnell back out to the mound for the Scouts, and he will have to face the 2, 3, and 4 spots in this Grand Lake Mariners lineup. First pitch for Pineda O'Donnell on the outside. 1 ball and no strikes to Blake Buckman. Blake Buckman, well, he took a couple of pitches against Michael Pineda O'Donnell in the top of the 7th before the man at first, Pat Rafe, was caught stealing, and that ended the inning. So back out to the plate is Blake Buckman, as that at-bat is not recorded. And he watches on the outside yet again. 2 balls and no strikes. Buckman from Louisiana Monroe has been held hitless on the day. A .275 hitter on the year. And he bats from the right side here against the righty, Michael Pineda O'Donnell. 2 balls, no strikes. Mike delivers. And that ball fouled out of play. First base side, 2-1 goes the count. A tough game for the Scouts on a number of fronts. We're being honest. But offensively, nothing going for Xenia, and that's a problem. The pitch. And that ball's a chip over towards Joey Roddy at third. He fields it 1 hop long, throw over to first. Kyle Casserly has to jump. He does catch it, but foot off the bag. So safe at first is Blake Buckman.
Call it an error. We'll see who it's on here in a moment.
If it's an error, it'll be on Roddy. And
with the high throw.
Yeah, so error on Joey Roddy, now his 10th error of the season over at that hot corner. And it has been sort of a struggle for Joey Roddy defensively throughout this season, given that that's probably about 1 error per game on average for him. Maybe a little bit less.
A little bit less, but we always talk about the struggle hitting for players that don't see the field with the red shirt in the spring, and how it's tough to come back and hit the ball when you haven't seen a live pitch in over a year. Well, you can say the same thing on the field. You haven't played third base since high school, so about a year and a half, and it can be. We've seen Roddy make some excellent plays, but it can be take some getting used to.
Yeah, no, for sure, absolutely. And the arm strength is certainly there. It's just been, there's been slip-ups here and there, undoubtedly, especially as Pineda O'Donnell tries the pickoff move over to first, not in time. 1 ball and no strikes now to the batter, Jeff Timko. We haven't even introduced him yet, but Jeff Timko, a .381 hitter on the year, 4 doubles, 3 home runs, 10 RBIs. He actually tripled to lead this game off, an RBI triple, his only hit on the day. He takes on the inside now, so 2 balls and no strikes now to Jeff Timko. Timko from Eastern Michigan, a native of Rochester Hills, Michigan, and of course Rochester Hills, a suburb of Detroit, home of Madonna and former Orioles right fielder Jay Gibbons. He watches low and away. 3 balls, no strikes to Jeff Timko.
That's a good pitch by O'Donnell there, painting the outside corner. I think he just missed low.
O'Donnell looks to the catcher, Ryan Park. Needs to find the zone on this one or he'll put another runner aboard. The 3-0 pitch. And that one does find the zone. The get me across does just that. 3-1 now to Jeff Timko. Don't want to give Timko anything too easy. Don't want to give him that easy cheese because 3 home runs. We saw what he did yesterday. Absolutely crushing one. The 3-1 pitch. O'Donnell actually steps off there. Blake Buckman at first. Nobody out here. Jeff Timko at the plate. 6-0. Grand Lake in the top of the third. The 3-1 pitch way off the plate. Ball number 4. So it's runners at first and second here with nobody out for Tucker Linder.
Now O'Donnell's going to have to work to get out of a little bit of a jam. Of course, the previous 2 runs in the last inning going to Zach Wallace. So if O'Donnell wants to keep his line at no runs, he's going to need a ground ball, a couple of strikeouts, something good to happen quickly.
So now it's Tucker Linder to the plate. Linder, he has got a couple of RBIs today as he fouls first pitch out of play, first base side. 0-1 goes the count. Linder, the first baseman from Marshall. Of course, Marshall. Gabe, what do you think of when you think of Marshall?
The movie.
Yes, the movie We Are Marshall. But I feel like there is so much more to Marshall that just goes completely, we just don't think about it. Like, for instance, Randy Moss, Chad Pennington, both playing football at Marshall. The 0-1 pitch here. That one in the dirt evens up the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. But it's more than just Randy Moss and Chad Pennington. Mike D'Antoni, NBA Coach of the Year Mike D'Antoni. That's important. He played basketball at Marshall in college. And, of course, folks, actor Billy Crystal actually played his freshman year on the Marshall baseball team. Took a red shirt.
Took a red shirt.
That's true. He did not record an at-bat with the Marshall Thundering Herd. 1-1 pitch. That ball, swing and a miss. O'Donnell ahead in the count 1-2.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, Marshall, however, ever since they lost Billy Crystal from the transfer to NYU acting school, it's been tough. A 25-21 record or 25-29 record posted in the 2017 campaign. O'Donnell facing the Marshall Thundering Herd member Tucker Linder right here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runners at first and second. The pitch, and that one fouled out of play. Third base side. We're going to do 1-2 all over again. Okay, do we have the out-of-town scoreboard?
I was looking at it now. 6-0 Steam over the Joes.
Okay.
So the Steam will gain a game on us if we cannot score 6 in these last couple innings. And the Jazz and the Copperheads are rained out.
Oh. The pitch. That ball just missing off the edge. Evens up the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
So that game, 2-0 Copperheads in the second inning.
I thought it was 2-0 Jazz.
Excuse me, you're right. 2-0.
Oh, so they haven't played since that second inning when
No.
Richmond put up the 2 runs.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see whether they choose to play that game tomorrow, if they have a doubleheader or whatever the deal is. That drive from Richmond to Athens, not a quick one, as Michael O'Donnell looks back the runner at second. The lead runner, of course, that is Blake Buckman. Buckman, the runner at second, reached on an error by Joey Roddy, and then Jeff Timko walked. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runners at first and second here with nobody out. The runners go. The pitch, that ball hit on the ground over towards third. A foul ball, however, the runners are going to have to head back, and the very rare double steal attempt put on by the Grand Lake Mariners on the 2-2 pitch there, Gabe.
And if that ball would have been fair, that would have been the best move of the night for O'Neill, the manager of the Mariners. I would have scored 2.
First and second, 2 balls, 2 strikes. A long at bat here between Tucker Linder and Michael Pineda O'Donnell. O'Donnell looks back the runner at second. We're staying at 2-2.
And this is where it can be tough for O'Donnell. 18 pitches into his outing. He hasn't recorded an out here in the 8th, his second inning of work.
The 2-2 pitch. And that ball is roped into left field. A base hit drops in front of Jordan Lambert. Lambert picks it up. The runner going from third home. The throw home is going to be in time. Throw to third as the runner's trying to advance. Not in time, but a good throw there by Jordan Lambert gets out number one. Blake Buckman didn't even attempt to slide home as Ryan Park totally had him. But on the single from Tucker Linder, Jeff Timko advances to third. So now it's runners at the corners here with one away in the top of the eighth.
A fantastic throw from Jordan Lambert out and left, hitting Roddy on the money. The cutoff in the infield. All Roddy had to do was turn and gun one to Park. Put it low. Park made the grab, applied the tag, and now the double play ball is a possibility with one down and runners in the corners.
So Nate Osmo to the plate. Osmo from Dartmouth. 0 for 2 on the day with a walk. He walked and scored a run. Came around to score a run back in the 7th inning, so just 1 inning ago. 306 hitter on the year. First pitch. Curveball. That one does find the zone. 0-1 now to Nate Osmo. Osmo from Dartmouth, of course. Kyle Hendricks of the Cubs played baseball at Dartmouth, and you think, well, why do people go to Dartmouth? Probably for the academics. 4 current U.S. senators, including Ohio Senator Rob Portman, are alumni of Dartmouth, as well as 2 current U.S. governors, and CNN head news anchor Jake Tapper. I basically stopped reading the list of notable smart people at that. The 0-1 pitch. That ball is hit high in the air and deep to left field. Jordan Lambert going back. That one is going to go foul left field side. A very, very hard hit ball. But all it will count for is a long foul ball. So Michael Pineda O'Donnell ahead in the count, 0-2 here on the Dartmouth man, Nate Osmo.
That's where if you're a pitcher, you just take a deep breath and thank the baseball gods that that wasn't another 7 feet right for a 3-run bomb.
0-2 now. O'Donnell looks to the catcher, Ryan Park. The pitch, and that one off the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes moves the count. 1 away here in the top of the 8th inning, 6-0. The score in favor of the Grand Lake Mariners. It's Jeff Timko at third and Tucker Linder at first for the Mariners here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch, and that one on the outside gets away from Ryan Park. The runner advancing over to second. Good job by Park to not let that one get too far behind him, but just like as Gabe had mentioned earlier, the double play ball was on with runners at the corners. With Timko moving over to second, that scenario is no longer in effect.
Yep, and you'll see the middle infielders for the Scouts, Beachy at short, Bourgeois at second, move in. The whole infield in for the Scouts. Any ground ball, they will look to prevent the run at home before they throw over to Cass at first.
The 2-2 pitch coming now from Michael Pineda O'Donnell. And that ball hit up the middle. Ben Beachy's going to go home. Well, going to go back to second, and they got the runner at second in a run down. They're going to tag him. So they get the runner at second, trying to advance to third. An interesting play there. So now it's runners at the corners again. The important thing, however, Jeff Timko has to be held at third. Great defensive baseball IQ there by Ben Beachy, the shortstop.
Yeah, on the ground ball, Beachy immediately, he had to go to his left to make the play, immediately spun and was about to throw home. Thank goodness he held on to the ball because the runner at second, Tucker Linder, for some reason started taking off for third, thinking his buddy over at third, Timko, was going to take off for the plate. And they had Linder in a rundown, a good play from Beachy to just kind of flip it back to Bourgeois at second. And now there's 2 down, and Pineda O'Donnell is an out away from getting out of this.
First pitch, swing and a miss. 0-1 is the count. So Osmo aboard with the fielder's choice. It's Osmo at first. Jeff Timko at third. The batter, R.J. Williams. 0-1 the count to Williams. Williams is 2 for 3 on the day. A successful day in the batter's box for Williams, the Bowling Green Falcon. Couple of singles, has been caught stealing twice, though. The 0-1 pitch, runner goes, ball hit in the 4-hole. Casserly fields it, goes back to O'Donnell. O'Donnell gets to first in time for out number 3. So a ball hit hard up the middle, kind of the 4-hole spot, but Kyle Casserly wasn't going to let it go to Ange Bourgeois. He comes in, fields it, and great job by the pitcher, Michael Pineda O'Donnell, to field his position. play covers the bag for out number 3. So no runs come home in the top of the 8th. A stressful inning, but a 0 on the board nonetheless. We will be right back. 6-0 the score in favor of the Grand Lake Mariners in the middle of the 8th. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. So Ange Bourgeois to the plate. We go to the home half of the 8th inning. The Scouts send Ange Bourgeois, Joey Roddy, and Francisco Andina to the plate as they trail 6-0 in this ball game. It's going to take a comeback of the ages here. Well, not of the ages, but certainly got to get something going. And Bourgeois, who's over 2, will start things off. The starting pitcher, Doc Wilkerson, still in. He delivers fastball low and away. 1 ball and no strikes to Ange Bourgeois. Bourgeois 0 for 2. Ground out to second, ground out to short. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball, that one finds the outside part of the plate, evens up the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. The middle infielders, Nate Osmo and Blake Buckman, for these Grand Lake Mariners, have done a tremendous job defensively all day as Bourgeois hits one slow roller, first base line. The pitcher fields his position, throws over to first in time. Out number 1. And the pitcher, Doc Wilkerson, went to his knees there as he made the throw, picking that ball up. Just not a ball that was even hit really down the line at all. Kind of just, minimal contact, but stayed in fair territory. And if the pitcher Wilkerson hadn't done such a good job there, Ange Bourgeois probably would have beat that out for an infield hit.
Yeah, an interesting little tactic there from Wilkerson. He slid to the ground and spun before he picked up the ball. That way, as a lefty, once he picked it up, all he had to do was sidearm it over there.
First pitch to Joey Roddy, almost his 3rd hit of the day, a liner, but a diving Tucker Linder at first makes the grab, literally fully extending his body. And Roddy, who had been 2 for 2 today on the day, robbed an athletic play of his 3rd hit there.
Yeah, when that ball came off the bat, I thought he had it. A great play by Linder at first, and Roddy, like you said, robbed is the perfect word there.
2 away now to Francisco Andina. First pitch outside part of the plate. 1 ball and no strikes to Andina. Francisco is 0 for 2 on the day. A strikeout swinging and a fly out to right. He takes inside for inside part of the plate. Delayed call there from our home plate umpire, but in there for a called strike. 1-1 the count now to Francisco Andina. The 1-1 pitch. Curveball. That one off the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike to Andina. Andina from Puerto Rico, a .226 hitter coming into this contest. 3 doubles, a home run, and 4 RBIs. Wilkerson delivers the 2-1 pitch. That one low, 3-1, and Andina is either going to get something to hit here on 3-1 or will find himself aboard with the walks that he draws almost as well as anyone in the Xenia Scouts lineup. The 3-1 pitch coming. And Andina hits that one hard over towards second, but the second baseman, Buckman, fields it on 1 hop over to first in time. Another 1-2-3 inning. 10 Scouts have been retired in a row. And that will do it for Xenia here in the bottom of the 8th. No runs on no hits and nobody left aboard. We have played 8 innings of baseball here at Grady's Field. The Scouts trail the Grand Lake Mariners by a score of 6-0. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. So the Mariners back out here at the top of the ninth. Michael Pineda O'Donnell on the mound. First pitch from Mike. That one on the outside, 1-0. Pineda O'Donnell has pitched an inning and 2/3 thus far, or is it 2 innings?
An inning and 2/3.
Not allowing an earned run yet on a couple of hits. As he delivers low there. The batter is Joe Isles. Isles is 1 for 3 on the day. The third baseman from Illinois State, a .313 hitter on the year. 2 balls and no strikes to Isles. As that ball hit high in the air towards right field, Caden Owens is calling for it. He'll make the grab. 1 away. So 1 away here in the top of the ninth. Mark that one down as an F9 in your books. And now Nick Varda to the plate for these Grand Lake Mariners. Varda from Ashland University, 0 for 3 on the day, a couple of ground outs to second, and a swinging strikeouts on his day. Varda, the native of Pickerington, Ohio, so same town as R.J. Williams. In 19 games played with the Ashland Eagles, he was 4 for 26. That's good for a 154 batting average. 1 ball and no strikes to count, as Pineda O'Donnell delivers on the outside that time. Varda 0 for 3, so that contributes to 2 of his last 20 at the plate. He bats from the left side here against the righty Michael Pineda O'Donnell. O'Donnell delivers the 1-0 pitch. That ball fouled straight back, evens at the count 1-1.
And if you're Pineda O'Donnell, obviously for the team, you want to try to get a 1-2-3 inning here, give yourself a shot in the ninth. But for him, his final line would be 2 2/3 innings pitched, no earned runs. His ERA, which was once at about 10, will go down to a little below 6. So he's having a heck of an outing he's had a few outings out of the bullpen that have been very good.
Yeah, and Pineda O'Donnell, when you switch that role, when we've seen him in the bullpen where he's more comfortable working, that's when we started to see more impressive results from the righty Michael Pineda O'Donnell. But yeah, the first 2 starts that he had, not incredibly impressive, but he's putting zeros on the boards out of the bullpen. 2-1 pitches fell out of play down the third base side, evens up the count 2-2.
And even in his last start, he pitched 6 innings and only gave up 3 earned runs. So he has been very efficient after those first 2 starts where he allowed, I believe it was a little over 10 runs. I don't have that number off the top of my head.
2 balls and 2 strikes here. O'Donnell delivers. That one low and away. The count goes full. We're in the top of the ninth here. 6-0 is the score in favor of the Grand Lake Mariners. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Michael Pineda O'Donnell versus Nick Varda. The 3-2 pitch. Ground ball over towards second. Bourgeois picks it up, tosses over in time. Out number 2. So Michael Pineda O'Donnell, 2 up, 2 down for him. And all he has to retire is the 9th man in this order in Tom Eastlich. Eastlich, however, he is actually just 0 for 2, but he has reached twice and in big spots. He walked in the 4th, ended up coming around, or walked in the 3rd, ended up coming around to score in the 7th as he hits one deep in the 4-hole. One hop. Bourgeois fields it in time for out number 3. So before I can even say that, he's retired, so not a threat anymore. That's a 1-2-3 inning for Michael Pineda O'Donnell. A tremendous job from the mound for the reliever. And the Scouts will go into the bottom of the 9th, trailing by a score of 6-0. So we'll just stay on here for the middle of this 9th inning. And we're going to do a new segment that we call Scouts in the Minor Leagues. Because believe it or not, folks, the Scouts don't choose to just play forever. Some of them get the opportunity to get drafted by a Major League Baseball team and try to play their way up in the minor league system, live out that dream. So we'll talk about Michael Staudinger first. Michael Staudinger just picked up in the 22nd round by the Chicago White Sox. He's playing in the Arizona League right now. That's a rookie ball league, and you guessed it, Arizona. In the Arizona League right now, Staudinger hitting .259 with 3 RBIs. They are just getting started out in that Arizona League. Only about 27 at-bats for Michael Staudinger. For Kevin Merrill, a member of the 2015 Scouts, a first-round pick by the Oakland Athletics. He is in the Short A New York Penn League. He's playing for the Vermont Lake Monsters in that Oakland A's organization. And a hot start for Merrill, a .346 average with a double, a triple, and 1 RBI. So Kevin Merrill, who was absolutely tearing it up at the University of South Florida this past spring, has gotten off to a hot start in single A. And so those two guys, though, just getting started, just drafted this year. But we're going to talk about a 2014 scout who really, he has taken the minor leagues by storm. He is in high A ball, which is, the 3rd highest you can be. There's rookie, low A. There's a bunch of different kinds of A balls. Once you get to high A, that's where you want to be. Connor Menez, who played in 2014, a 6-3 record with a 3.52 ERA with the high A San Jose Giants, 63 Ks, 34 walks in 79 and a third innings pitched. So the Xenia Scouts all over the country. They're in Arizona, they're in California, they're in Vermont, and of course they're here in Xenia, Ohio. It is time for the bottom of the 9th. First pitch to Ben Beachy in there for a called strike 1. Beachy hitless on the day. He reached on an error his first time to the plate. 0 for 3 other than that. Curveball there. Check swing. Did he go? He certainly did. Ben quickly behind in this count. 0-2. Beachy, who came into the game with a .329 average, 17 RBIs. A rare hitless day at the plate so far. Let's see if he can get something going for the Scouts here in the home half of the 9th. And he lifts that one into deep center field. The center fielder, R.J. Williams, goes back, makes the grab at the warning track for out number 1.
Hard hit ball by Beachy, but unfortunately right to the center fielder, Williams. And that's just how this night's gone.
Yeah. They can't win them all, but you'd hope to not get shut out in any of them. And this would be the first shutout of the year, I believe.
It would be.
No, the second. 8-0 against the Steam that one time. Well, now Ryan Park to the plate. First pitch to Park. He fouls it hard down the third base line. 0-1 the count. Park is 0 for 3 on the day. He grounded into a double play his first time up. Grounded it short his second time up. Went down looking his third time up back in the 6th. But Park, a very effective hitter on the year, .316. He skies one. Very shallow right field. The second baseman, Buckman, has it. He makes the grab, and the Scouts are down to their final out of this ball game. And it will be Jordan Lambert to the plate. Lambert 0 for 2 with a walk. And a lot of Scouts are hitless on the day. No question. Only Joey Roddy and Kyle Casserly have been able to manage a base hit in this game. So 2 of the hits coming from the Joey Roddy. First pitch curveball to Jordan Lambert. That one finds the outside part of the plate. A called strike 1. No balls and a strike here with 2 away in the bottom of the 9th. The Scouts down to their final out, trailing 6-0. Lambert hacks, swing and a miss there. And the Scouts now down their final strike.
Doc Wilkerson, heck of a night on the mound.
Oh, yeah, that puts it very lightly. It would be a complete game shutout 3-hitter until Lambert lines that one down the right field line, but it'll just go foul. Could have made it a 4-hitter, but instead the count will stay at 0-2.
And sadly, the game of Jordan Lambert predictions is now 3 for 5. He was 3 for 4 coming into tonight on predicting how many hits he would have. He's now 3 for 5 as his word was 3 hits tonight.
Well, he barely even got 3 at bats. That ball, curveball in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And you just had a bad feeling after his first at bat when he lined one straight to the first baseman, Linder. I thought if that ball would have been up and over. Usually when Lambert can get his first hit of the day quickly, he has a multi-hit day.
Curveball, swing, and a miss, and that is going to be all she wrote this evening, folks. The final score, the Grand Lake Mariners 6, the Xenia Scouts nothing. The Mariners with 6 runs on 8 hits and 1 error. The Scouts, well, they weren't able to put up a run. No runs on 3 hits and 3 errors in the field. The Scouts record will drop to 11 wins and 11 losses on the season. Grand Lake moves to now 10-9 or
11-9.
11-9 now. So that will be the final matchup between these two teams. The Mariners with the series sweep this year. They remain in 2nd place in the Central Division behind the Lima Locos. The Scouts will remain in fourth place with the 2 teams in 2nd tied, and then Cincinnati's team will stay in 1st.
And that's why these 2 losses kind of hurt for this. Obviously the losses hurt. That's why these 2, as I can't seem to talk to end this broadcast, kind of hurt for the Scouts because the Copperheads beat the Richmond Jazz. No, the Jazz beat the Copperheads last night, and then the Joes. Well, the Steam have taken care of the Joes a couple times now, but even just a win, you gain another game on the Joes, who are in last in the division, and it would have put you solely ahead of the Copperheads, who got rained out tonight. So instead, you're 11-11. You're at 500. You're still in 4th place in the division. But again, to reiterate, top 2 teams in the division make the playoffs. So the Steam, yes, they gain ground. They're now 3 ahead of these Scouts. But the Scouts still only, I believe, 2 back, a game and a half or 2 back from 2nd place. And that'll get you a playoff spot.
Well, that's exactly right, Gabe. And man, kind of the silver lining here is that losses against divisional opponents, not as bad as, or against the other division, I should say, not as bad as if we had lost a 2-game set to either the Jazz or the Copperheads. Scouts will be back in action on Friday against the Copperheads. That's a 7 p.m. start at Bob Brand Stadium. Gabe Genovesi will bring you all that action. It's questionable whether I will be there or not. I have yet to decide. I have to move stuff out of my apartment and into a new one. So I am in. Well, actually, the winning pitcher is going to be
Doc Wilkerson, losing pitcher Zach Wallace. Obviously, no one gets a save. Just to run through it, 6 runs on 8 hits, 3 left the board for the Mariners. And the Scouts, of course, no runs on 3 hits. Only 2 left the board. So it wasn't even like the Scouts had hits and left a runner stranded. They just couldn't get anything going.
Yeah, no, the Scouts, the only numbers, we try to pull positives out of this, whether it be a win or a loss. Well, the only positives I see are Michael Pineda-O'Donnell, good work in relief. Zach Wallace had a quality start.
Only 2 earned runs in 6 1/3 innings pitched. It was those couple errors that cost him.
Yeah, and of course, Joey Roddy, a 2 for 3 day. We gotta love Joey Roddy. Roddy picking up his first extra base hit of the year.
And his 2nd multi-hit game.
Yeah, his 2nd multi-hit game. So a tremendous job by Joey Roddy. We love Joey Roddy. He has 1 save on the year. So I'm Andrew Alex. He's Gabe Genovesi. We thank you for joining us tonight. We hope we'll have better luck next time around. Join us on Friday at 7:05 p.m. as the Scouts take on their division rivals, the Southern Ohio Copperheads. We thank you for joining us tonight.
And that game will be for sole possession of 3rd place. Sorry, I just had to throw that in there real fast.
Sole possession of 3rd place. And in this dogfight of a stretch run that we are in
that matters.
Stacked Southern Division, Every pitch matters, every game matters, and you don't want to miss it. So we hope to have you back with us on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network over the weekend. Until then, we thank you for joining us. Good night and God bless.